In this video, we're going to have a closer look at how you use LangChain with Redis. I'm first going to make a case for why you want to consider Redis as a backend for your LLM application. Then I'm going to show you how you use LangChain with the cloud-hosted version of Redis, which is hosted on Redis.com. I'll create indexes and show how to retrieve the data using the Python library Redis-py, and quickly dive into how LangChain stores this data under the hood. So why Redis? Well, first of all, Redis is one of the most popular databases in the world. It ranks just below MongoDB and the big SQL databases in terms of popularity. Go to any ranking and you'll see Redis near the top of the list, like this ranking on dbengines.com. And as you know, companies love to keep their tech stack lean and use the same tools for multiple tasks. So this is already reason enough to consider Redis for your next project. But there's actually an even better reason to consider Redis, and it has to do with the way Redis is being used in companies around the world. Redis is the most popular database when it comes to feeding machine learning models in production with real-time data. And the way it often works is that you have a web client that needs some information generated by a machine learning model. For the model to be able to provide an answer, it needs to fetch features, which is the data that goes into the model. And to do that in a reasonable time frame, the model needs to be fed data from a so-called online store, and Redis is the most popular choice for this. So what does this have to do with LangChain? Well, LangChain integrates with Feast, a system widely used to generate the feature data, and those same features can be used to inject important contexts into prompt templates. So we can actually use Redis both for vector storage and for holding information that is needed to personalize a language model's interaction with a customer. In the coming videos, I'm going to walk you through how this works and how this can be utilized for online businesses, so hit subscribe if you want to follow along. As for this video, I'm going to share the code and the data used below this video to get you started with LangChain and Redis as quickly as possible. Let's go. So if you go to redis.com, you can sign up for a free account. And once you sign up or sign in, you can set up a new subscription. And here I'm just going to choose the free tier. And then I'm going to set up a subscription on AWS. And then I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it LangChain. And then I just create the subscription. Once we have the subscription, we're going to set up a new database. And here we're going to choose Redis Stack that includes all the Redis modules that we need. And then we choose a database name. I'm going to call this one Analytics, and then we activate the database. Once the database is set up, and you can see that by the icon next to Analytics turning green, we can go in and fetch the endpoint that we need to connect to the database. So go to public endpoint and then you click connect. And here we can get the URL that we need to connect LangChain to this Redis database. So I'm just going to click copy, and then we can use this URL in a notebook. So besides LangChain, we're also going to be using Redis-py that allows us to connect to the Redis database using Python. And installing this is simply pip install Redis. And of course, we're also going to be using LangChain, and to install the latest version of LangChain, simply write pip install LangChain. So let's paste the URL that we copied from Redis Cloud into a notebook. And you can see that the URL actually consists of three parts: a host, a password, and a port. To connect to Redis through LangChain, we're going to use the full URL with all three parts. But to connect to Redis through Redis-py without LangChain, we need the host and the password and the port separately. So let me start by connecting through Redis-py. To do that, we import Redis and then we pass the host, port, and password as arguments to the instance. And here I called the instance R, and then we can ping it to see if we have a connection. And you can use r.keys to see what's stored in the Redis database, and here it's obviously empty. So now I'm going to load some data into the database, and I'm going to be using the same data we've been using before, which is the Amazon review dataset. And here I'm going to extract the data for one particular product, which is the Pinnacle Orthotic Shoe insoles. And then I'm going to fetch the ID. I'm going to fetch the overall rating. I'm going to fetch the review text and the summary of the review text, the headline. So if we want to load this into Redis using Redis as a vector database, we're going to need embeddings. So I'm going to import Hugging Face embeddings and use those embeddings to store the data. And to use the Hugging Face embeddings, you need to pip install the sentence transformer library. And I'm going to take the data from the data frame and transform it into a format that we can load into the database. And in particular, I need all the review texts in a list, and I need all the summaries in a list. And then I'm going to create a list of metadata that contains all the ratings for each individual review. And I don't need the reviews, vectors, or summary vectors just yet. We'll need it later. And to load this into Redis from LangChain, it's the same syntax as always. We use the from texts method and load in the texts. We need the embeddings, and in this case, we also need the URL. And once we've loaded the vectors, we can do r.keys, and we can see that now we have data in the database. So if you want to see the indexes that have been created, you can use r.execute command and then execute ft._list. And this will give you a list of the indexes in this database. LangChain stores the data in Redis as hashes. So if we want to fetch all the fields of a particular key, we can use r.hkeys and then the key. And here we see we have metadata, we have a content vector, and we have content. And we can also fetch just a particular field by using hget and then adding the field name. The content vector is stored as bytes, so it's going to be unreadable. And if you want to read the content vector, you're going to need to decode it. And you can use NumPy from buffer to do that, choosing dtype float 32. And here we have the decoded content vector. If we dive into the Redis.py component of LangChain, you can see how the data is being stored as hashes using a Redis pipeline. We'll get more into that in later videos. Alright, that's it for now. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.